Welcome to another session of Cellular Mobile Communications, Unit 5. The Unit 5 is Digital Cellular System. In this Unit 5 Digital Cellular System, we discussed what is meant by digital mobile telephony and what are the different types of multiple access systems, that is TDMA, FDMA and CDMA, and what are the practical types of multiple access schemes which are used. And the main digital cellular system is GSM, that is Global System for Mobile. And what are the miscellaneous mobile systems we are discussing in this Unit 5. First, today's topic is digital mobile telephony. Digital mobile telephony. Here, before going to digital mobile telephony, the schemes, the first of all, we discuss about digital systems. Before going to digital system, first we have to discuss about what is the analog system. Here, what is the analog system? In analog systems, the signals are transmitted in a continuous function, in a continuation function of a message waveform. That is, the signal having the parameters amplitude, frequency, phase, time, light. Based upon these parameters only, you have to represent the analog signal. It is a continuous function. It is a continuous function. Based upon this, what is meant by modulation? You know that modulation is varying the characteristics of carrier signal with respect to message signal. Nothing but we have to vary the carrier signal amplitude or phase or frequency or time with respect to voice or message. With respect to voice or message. Similarly, what is meant by digital system? Here in this digital system, the transmitter signals are discrete in nature. The transmitter signals are discrete in nature. That is, discrete in nature with respect to time, amplitude, phase, or frequency, or combination of any two parameters. Now, how to convert from analog signal to digital signal? By using the sampling process. By using the sampling process. How the sampling process goes? That is, once you have to take the continuous waveform, and based upon the sampling period, we have to divide. After dividing the number of samples, go for quantizing period, then again divided. Based upon this quantize only, we have to represent the discrete signals. Discrete signal, nothing but to convert from analog form to digital form, the quantizing noise due to discrete levels should be controlled by assigning a sufficient number of digits for each sample. Right? Nothing but after quantizing each sample, it is not an equal amplitude. We don't know whether it is V0, whether it is 1. Nothing but by applying threshold value, above the threshold value, it should be 1, represent 1. Below the threshold value, it should be 0, represent, right? For this purpose, we are using a sufficient number of samples is needed. A sufficient number of samples is needed to apply the Nyquist rate for sampling. Nyquist rate for sampling. This is about the basics of analog system and basics of digital systems. Now, to compare analog system with the digital system, what are the advantages of digital systems compared with analog system? The main advantage of converting these signals from analog signal to digital form is ruggedness of digital signal. That is, what do you mean ruggedness? Nothing but here occupancy in a frequency. Occupancy in a frequency. Second one is it is easy to detect and correct noise and interference. That is, we are having number of methods are there. Number of error detecting and correcting methods. It is easy to implement in digital systems. Next one is regeneration. That is, this is the primary advantage. Nothing but what is regeneration? Just after eliminating the errors, again we have to represent the original signal. That is, we have to regenerate easily. Next one is we require more bandwidth to overcome this noise and interference in digital systems, and the cost is less and power consumption is lower. And what is the digital system equipment is very lighter, very lightweight and more compact, and That's why we are using these digital systems in cellular mobile communication. That is ruggedness of a system, easy regeneration, easy to eliminate noise and interference, and easily corrected, and less cost, power consumption is low, and lightweight and compact. Based upon these advantages, we are implementing these digital systems in cellular mobile communication. Now we are going for digital mobile telephony. Digital mobile telephony. Suppose how to transmit this digital voice in mobile cellular environment. How to transmit digital voice in the mobile cellular environment. You know that voice is the basic key service of a cellular mobile system. Nowadays we are using data, but what is the basic use of mobile? That is voice transmission. That is how we are nowadays using digital voice transmission. But at the time of digital transmission, we are getting a major challenging job is multipath fading environment. Multipath fading environment. Nothing but when the signal is transmitted from base station to mobile station, then automatically the signal is not directly reached to mobile unit. It reflects from different paths and finally reached to the mobile unit. This is the key challenge in a digital voice transmission. Digital voice transmission, not only the multipath fading, transmission rate also we have to check. That is what is the speed. Right here, digital voice in mobile radio environment. Right. First one is we have to judge the received voice signal is good or not. Good or not. That is, we have to judge a good digital voice. We have to judge a good digital voice through a wireline is employed. Suppose we have to use a wireline. Here, what are the best methods are there for transmission of good voice? That is, the first method is CVSD modulation scheme. CVSD modulation, that is a continuously variable step delta. Continuously variable step delta modulation scheme is the best method to transmit voice in a good quality. That is, in CVSD scheme, the maximum transmission rate is 16 kbps. 16 kbps, but it is not used for general public. That's why we are using in military applications. Military application. Next one, next technique is LPC scheme, linear predictive coding scheme. Linear predictive coding scheme. Here, by using this linear predictive coding scheme, there are two types of transmission rates are available. That is 2.4 kbps. The another one is 4.8 kbps. Here, the 2.4 kbps we are using for synthetic quality voice. For 4.8 kbps are used for communication quality voice. Communication quality voice. Here also in LP scheme, not only 2.4 kbps, not only 4.8 kbps, we are using 16 kbps also for get toll quality voice. That is better. Next one is pulse code modulation, PCM, pulse code modulation scheme. That is the present we are using this scheme. That is the transmission rate is high. That is 32 kbps, 64 kbps. Whenever applying PCM, the 32 kbps transmission rate used for military. For 64 kbps is for commercially. Out of these, all these schemes, the LPC scheme, that is linear predictive coding, seem most attractive because low transmission rate. Whenever the low transmission rate, nothing but automatically the cost of the system can be decreased. This is the three methods for judging a good digital voice. The second criteria is digital voice has to be processed in real time. The digital voice should be processed in real time. That's why we are using LPC scheme, but not CVSD. Next, third criteria. When sending a digital stream through a radio channel in a fading environment, that is once we are sending a digital voice to a radio channel, first we have to go for give protection for that one. Give protection that one. That is, suppose you are using LPC scheme. the LPC scheme is the transmission rate is low. That's why we have to give more protection than CVSD. Right. Next, the fourth criteria is, the mobile unit is moving. It is not a fixed position. It is moved from one place to another place. In some place it is fastly moving. Some place it is slowly moving. So nothing but now I am taking my mobile unit up I am using by walkable from one walkable distance. I go for walking. That is somewhat less speed. Suppose I am using mobile unit through a car. Nothing but speed increases. That is, the mobile unit it is not a constant speed, whether sometimes it is slow, sometimes it is fast. That's why the extra synchronization bits are needed. The extra synchronization bits are needed in the normal digital stream. In the normal digital, that is, we have to go for balancing for slow and fast moving of a mobile unit. This is the 4 criteria for digital voice transmission in a cellular mobile systems. Next one. What are concentration factors in digital voice transmission in cellular mobile systems? That is, these are the factors we have to consider to check whether the signal is going perfectly or not. That is, the first one is digital transmission rate. The first factor is digital transmission rate. Digital transmission rate. In that digital transmission rate, nothing but what is the speed of a signal? What is the speed of a signal? In that digital transmission rate, the first one is present cellular signaling rate. Present cellular signaling rate. Nothing but suppose just let us assume that the mobile unit moves with average of 30 miles per hour. The mobile unit moves an average of 30 miles per hour. And the speed is 10 kbps. The transmission rate is 10 kbps. That is, we need 21 synchronization bits. We need 21 synchronization bits. Nothing but suppose I have to transmit a 48 bits. 48 bits data I have to transmit. We have to add 48 plus 21 synchronization bits to transmit to get good voice quality and balancing the speed of a mobile unit. That is assume that the mobile unit moves with an average of 30 miles per hour and the transmission rate is 10 kbps. For this one, I'm taking the code word, that is data is 48 bits. Now I'm adding 48 bits plus 21 synchronization bits. In that 21 synchronization bits, 10 are original synchronization bits plus 11 frame bits. That is, what is my synchronization bits? Nothing but what is the source address, what is the destination address, the number of flag bits are there, whether it is reached successfully or not. That's why some controlling bits are there. Next, second one is consideration of LPC scheme. Consideration of LPC scheme. Already we know that LPC scheme which are using is 3 types of transmission rates: 2.4 kbps, 4.8 kbps, 16 kbps. But for commercially in LPC scheme, 4.8 kbps are used for get good communication quality. Here nothing but suppose we have to send 48 bits. Nothing but say this one. We have to add 21 synchronization bits plus a code word of 48 bits. Total is 69 bits. 69 bits. And that is nothing but now calculate. Now we have to calculate what is the speed, what is the transmission rate. That is the number of synchronization bits. The number of synchronization bits is almost half of the number of the code word. That is, code word is 48. Suppose 48 by 2 or 24 almost equal to 21, right? That's why the number of synchronization bits is almost half of the number of code word. Therefore, the transmission rate is approximately, what is the LPC scheme speed is 4.8. 4.8 multiplied with 1.5. 1.5, which is equal to 7.2 kbps. 7.2 kbps. Next one is redundancy of a transmission. Redundancy of a transmission. What is the redundancy? Suppose in general, I am taking that redundancy nothing but it is depends upon the production of synchronization bits and data. Nothing but suppose the redundancy is depends upon suppose taking one network. Suppose the network fails. That is the network is needs to repair. Nothing but at what time the network is interrupted and how much time it should be repaired for connecting. Right. Similarly, here in digital system also, redundancy of a transmission is nothing but the protection. What are the different types of protection schemes are there? Right. Parity bit method is there. 2 out of 3 majority vote is there. Cyclic CRC techniques is there. That is for protection. Your synchronization bits and data. Suppose you know the parity bit method. What is the parity bit method? Either we have to assume that even parity or odd parity based upon the number of bits, whether it is even or odd. Based upon this, you have to add extra bit and then send. Similarly, 2 out of 3 majority vote nothing, but the same data can be transmitted 3 times. Once received a signal, whether the 2 received signals are equal or if equal, it is there is no issue. In similarly, we are using LPC scheme. The signaling rate is 48 kbps. Then transmission rate is 4.8 kbps multiplied with 1.5 multiplied with 3. That is we have to transmit 3 times. 3 times same data. That's why multiplied with 3. Then we are going to get 21.6 kbps speed. 21.6 kbps needed. That is redundancy. Next one is modulation, diversity, coding, ARQ, and scrambling. What is the modulation? Varying the characteristics of carrier signal with respect to message signal. What is meant by diversity? Diversity scheme which is used at reception side, that is receiving a signal. That is we are using receive 2 signals and receive the compare them whether it is equal or if it is equal, then automatically there is no redundancy. If it is not equal, we are getting error. Next one is coding. What is the use of coding? Coding is nothing but encoding and decoding techniques. What is the use for protection of the signal? Encode different encoding techniques. That is for the transmission side, we are go for the signal should be encode. For receiving side, the signal should be decode. Encode and decode. ARQ, automatic repeat request. Automatic repeat request. Automatic repeat request. Once the signal is transmitted, the signal is received by receiver. Suppose the received signal is error, then automatically the receiver sends to transmitter. We have to retransmit the signal. At that time, we have to go for ARQ, automatic repeat request. Next, scrambling. Scrambling of the signal. This is about the data transmission rate. Next one is word error rate. Word error rate. Here, what is when before going to word error rate, we have to discuss about bit error rate. Here, what is meant by bit error rate? Nothing but bit error rate is defined as here it is the ratio of number of bits errored to the number of bits transmitted. That is, we have to represent bit error rate by PE and similarly for word error rate by PW. Both are used to calculate the received signal is errored or not. Errored or not. Here we are using for this calculation of this bit error and word error rate. Whether parity bit method is there, 2 out of 3 majority vote of the technique is there, cyclic redundancy check is there, whatever different techniques. Here not only bit error word error, we are using carrier to interference ratio and carrier to noise ratio also. You know that what is the meant by C by I? It should be greater than 80 dB. In general, word error rate is the same as or lower than the bit error rate. for a given C by N is level is acceptable. Next one is the relation between C by N and EB by N naught. EB nothing but energy to noise ratio. That is the relationship between carrier to noise ratio C by N and energy per bit to noise per H EB by N naught. And the transmission rate of is R, capital R, and bandwidth level is B. The relation is C by N, which is equal to EB by N naught multiplied with R by B. When the levels of C by N increases, C by N increases, then automatically the bandwidth decreases. Keeping that EB by N naught should be constant. Keeping that CB by N naught is constant, and C by N should be which is equal to 15 dB. You have to maintain. This is a relation between C by N and EB by N naught. Right. This is the consideration factors for digital voice quality in a cellular mobile system. Now, evaluation process. Evaluation process. In general, there are two methods are there for evaluating digital voice quality. Already we discussed in the first unit, that is how to calculate the voice quality. That is based upon the circuit merit. Circuit merit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Based on circuit merit, so you have to check. We have to give scoring. Right. Similarly, in the evaluation of digital voice quality, there are two methods. That is, first one is listener's opinion. The second one is diagnostic rhyme test. Diagnostic rhyme test. The first one is listener's opinion. Listener's opinion. Here, for this listener's opinion, suppose I am talking. You are listening my voice. Based upon this, suppose the network is good, you are listening good voice quality. If network is not good, then automatically interrupt in the voice. That is simply in listener's opinion, whether we are using 16 kbps voice coder or 18 kbps, 8 kbps voice coder, whatever it may be. Finally, we have to calculate the C by ratio. Must ensure the C by ratio is greater than or equal to 18 dB. We have to maintain. Already discussed this concept of C by I ratio is greater than 18 dB in third unit. Whenever the C by I ratio is greater than 18 dB, there is no interruption present. We are receiving good voice quality, and there is no co-channel interference. This is about listener's opinion. The second one is diagnostic rhyme test. Diagnostic rhyme test. Not only listener's opinion, sometimes also we are using this DRT. Here in this DRT having a score of 90. 90 or 90 plus, we have to acceptable. Acceptable value. Below the 91 is not acceptable value. Here in DRT criterion, nothing but also we are using bit error rate calculation. Bit error rate calculation. We are using either CVSD scheme, either we are using LPC scheme, whatever it may be. Techniques are used. Once you are calculating this diagnostic rhyme test, that is based upon the bit error rate, then automatically you have to calculate the must should the diagnostic rhyme test score value should be equal or greater than 90. This is about the difference between analog and digital systems, and what are the advantages of digital systems which is used in cellular mobile communication. What is the digital telephony? What are the factors influencing digital voice transmission in cellular mobile communication? And what are the evaluation process in digital mobile telephony? Thank you very much for attending this session. Do you have any query? Type your query in a chat box related to digital mobile telephony. Thank you very much.